The Premier League is back, and of course, we need to do our Premier League predictions. Last season, I predicted Manchester United to win the league. We finished 15th, so lock in for some pretty awful Premier League predictions. Now, for this, we are using a tier maker to get the predictions how we want them. We can see UCL 2 to 5, UEL 6 and 7, high mid table 8 to 12, lower mid, and relegation. And of course, the champions, but we'll be starting from relegation upwards. Now, I'll be using Football Manager to explain some of my thoughts and processes on a full updated database. Don't worry, I don't think Football Manager is the be-all and end-all for predictions, but I have done a Football Manager simulates the video and predicts the table from this fully updated database. So if you want to see that, the link to that is going to be linked just up there. Now, first up, we need to go through the relegation candidates, don't we? Because there is some teams which I think are in for a rough season. I think we'll just go for and mention them. I think Liverpool, I'm joking. I think Bournemouth are certainly a team that could be there. Brentford, certainly a team that could be there. Burnley, certainly a team that could be there. I think Forest could be tight, but I don't think they're going to get relegated. Leeds, I think, could be there. I think Sunderland could be there. And I think Wolves could be there. They, for me, are the teams that I think are very high chance of getting relegated. I think Brentford lost Thomas Frank, lost Captain Norgard, Brian Mbeumo, and are losing Johan Vissa. So their goals are gone from last season, their captain's gone, and their manager's gone. I think it maybe is time, which is a bit of a sad one to say, but I know they've just signed Dango Ouattara from Bournemouth, who again we need to talk about, but I just think they're probably going to get relegated. Bournemouth are a weird one. I love Andoni Iraola. I think he's a fantastic manager. They have just lost their two centre-backs, and they've just signed Diakate from Lille. Obviously losing Dango Ouattara. They've lost a couple of other players as well, I believe. Semenyo is still there, though, isn't he, actually? Which is a bit of a weird one. So I think maybe they'll be safe, but I can also see Iraola being poached. Every single Premier League season, someone is meant to do well and doesn't do well. You know, Aston Villa with Unai Emery, could he be getting sacked at some point? When we get into predictions, you'll see potentially. And, you know, they go and poach Andoni Iraola. I think he could get picked up by a pretty big side. Arsenal, you know, Arteta, if it starts off badly, which Football Manager predicted it would start off horrendously, and they're not going to be in that top four race, do they sack him and go for Iraola? I think it's a very good replacement if it's something they do. So I think Bournemouth will struggle. I think they'll lose Iraola at some point in the season, purely down to a bigger team coming in. And it's an adapting season. They've been doing so well for the last few years. I just don't think it's going to be this year. Burnley don't even look like they're trying to stay in the Premier League. I mean, they've got Scott Parker in charge. He's a good gaffer. But they finish on like 105 points again and will just get relegated. They're almost a guarantee for me to come last. Sunderland are putting in a proper effort, and Leeds are not. Again, I think Leeds have signed a few players, but it doesn't look like they're really going for survival. I don't know, it's weird. Teams seem to come up at the moment and just accept the fact they're not good enough. And Sunderland, funny enough, the team that got promoted for the promotion race, the playoffs, aren't doing that. So I think Sunderland will stay safe. And for me, it's out of Wolves and Leeds. I think Brentford are down, to be honest. I think Burnley, Brentford, and then I kind of want Leeds to stay up. I'm a Manchester United fan. I quite like the 6 points we get from playing Leeds every season. And I do think Wolves are going to struggle this season under Vitor Pereira. Again, lost Mateus Cunha, one of the best players for them last season. I mean, the best player for them last season. And I think he will end up being a massive loss for them. And I think they could potentially go down. So my bottom three, I'm going to lock in as Burnley, Brentford, and Wolves. Now, we've got 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 to go into this place here. Now, for me, I do think Crystal Palace are going to be in for a shout. I think Everton are. I think Forest are. I think Fulham are in for a shout. And that's sort of what we got to do here. Now, Bournemouth, I think, will be down here somewhere. I think Sunderland will be down here somewhere. And I guarantee, personally, Nottingham Forest will be down there somewhere. They've lost... they've not really lost that many players at all, to be honest, but just the extra European football, the vibe just seems a bit weird. I mean, with Morgan Gibbs-White wanting to leave and then, I mean, potentially being forced to stay, it's just a weird atmosphere at Forest at the moment, and I think they are going to struggle. I think they'll stay safe, but I do think it will literally be 17th Leeds, 16th Sunderland, 15th Forest, 14th Bournemouth, and then I think Everton will be okay, actually. And I think Fulham will be okay. And I think Palace will go in 13th. I think they will lose Eze in the final couple of weeks of the season. And that's such a big loss for them. I don't think they'll get relegated, but I think it'll be in around there. And then from 8th to 12th, Aston Villa need to get into here for me. West Ham, well, they are need to go in there for me. And Brighton, of course, as well. I do think the top 8, well, top 7 kind of picks itself. So, yeah, for me, we're not going to have a fall off from Manchester United or potentially from Spurs this season. Or are we? We'll talk. Well, yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. I think in 12th place, I think we'll go West Ham. I think 11th place we go Everton. 11th place we go Fulham. 10th place we go Everton. Brighton in 9th. I think Fabian Hertzler is a really good manager. I think we then go... Oh, sorry, what are we doing here? 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th, and 7th. This is a bit tripped out. I'm so confused. Oh, because I've got an extra team there, haven't I, the idiot? Yeah, I think Aston Villa are actually potentially below Brighton, and Spurs will go as 7th place. From there, I think Newcastle go in 6th place. I think Thomas Frank is a really good manager, and actually I'm going to put Spurs in 6th, because I think Frank pips Newcastle to it. Newcastle have had such a bad transfer window, losing Alex Isak as well. I do actually believe that someone out of these teams, I don't know who it could be, but someone here could get 7th. It could even be like an Everton in their new stadium, and Newcastle drop to 8th. I'm going to do that just to have a little bit of a different prediction. And I think Everton with, Jack Grealish is a pretty big signing. I think Tiano Barry's a fantastic striker. Just got to adapt to the Premier League, and I think he'll do that by November, December. Tarkowski, Branthwaite they've kept, Pickford in goal. They're not that bad. The press under David Moyes against United in the pre-season game was quite good. I thought they were actually pretty decent. So I am going to go Everton in 7th. That's a crazy shout. I can't believe I'm doing that. But new stadium, new hype. Everton 7th, Spurs 6th, Newcastle 8th. Newcastle fan. My brother is actually a Newcastle fan. I don't actually hate Newcastle, unlike a lot of United fans. But yeah, it'd be quite funny to see him finish in 8th place. Past that, then we have the top 5. Now, Manchester United are obviously in this conversation. For me, anyway. No European football was such a big difference. Signing Cunha and Mbeumo is massive for goal scoring. Premier League proven, straight away improves us such a big amount. Benjamin Sesko is a risk. I am on record quite a lot saying Ollie Watkins to me was the smarter deal for a more guaranteed, Premier League result. But that doesn't mean I don't absolutely love the signing of Sesko. I think he's a fantastic striker, and I am fully behind him for this season. I just think it's a bit of a risk, but if we get him, well, we have got him. If he performs, I mean, I'll be absolutely over the moon. And I don't think it was a lot in it between Watkins and Sesko. It was like 51% Watkins, 49% Sesko, in my opinion, in what I wanted. I think Liverpool will get Isak, which again is why Newcastle were down in 8th. He is such a good striker. I do think potentially Liverpool don't look as good as they did last season. That Community Shield game, they looked awful. I think Salah and Van Dijk are aging, and I don't think they win the title this season. And I am quite confident in saying they're going to finish in 5th place, which is, I think I'd done the same last season, maybe even put them in 8th and they won the league. So Liverpool fans, it's probably a good omen that I've done that, because yeah, I was quite literally memed on like a Liverpool fan page at the start of the season. But I've just got a feeling Liverpool aren't going to be as good. And then I think we're going to go Arsenal. How am Manchester United still here? How have I done this? Arsenal in 4th. I don't think Arteta's got it in the bag. I think Gyökeres is a great striker. I wasn't that fussed about having him at United. I think the fact that no one else was really in for him other than us and Arsenal probably shows there's more issues there. And I don't think we were ever that actually in for him. So I think he bullied lower league, Portuguese strikers, defenders, and won't be able to do that in the Premier League whatsoever. And I think it's going to be a bit of a shock to Arsenal's build-up play as well, not having a Kai Havertz in there. So yeah, Arsenal in 4th. And I am then going to put United in 3rd place. I think we're going to have such a good season. I'm so excited. I am biased. I'm excited. And that's what being a Premier League fan is all about. But even in your team to do well. If you're not predicting your team to do well in the season, what are you doing? Live optimistically in life. United, top 3. And I just want us to sit at the end of this season and say, you know what? We're actually back. We are building the right thing. Carrington is back. New stadium underway. Ineos are doing bits with the sponsorships now, like Coca-Cola, making good young signings. That's all I want at the end of the season. And if that means it come in third place as well, then so be it. I think Chelsea and Maresca are a fantastic team and are going to win the league. I think Maresca is a fantastic manager. I said it when he was at Leicester. And when Chelsea signed him, I had Chelsea fans as friends that were like, wow, what an awful manager signing. I fully backed Maresca day one, and I back him now to win the league. Obviously, I'm not doing this based on the fact that they've just won the, the Super League thing. I'm doing it purely based on the reason I think they're good enough. I think over the course of the season, they've got enough depth, enough rotation. Chelsea win the league and City come in second place. Another Rodri injury out till November, December is massive. Pretty much the reason I think City won't win the league. They look so much worse without Rodri. And I just think it's going to be a bit of an uphill climb. I think Chelsea will run away with it from the start. I think João Pedro looks like R9. He looks incredible. Defensively, they're so good. Losing Levi Colville was massive, but signing Jarell Harto straight away, not a bad replacement whatsoever if he adapts to the Premier League. And I'm quite happy with that. Looking at it through, just seeing if I want to make changes. Chelsea in first place, City second, United third, Arsenal fourth, Liverpool fifth, Spurs sixth, Everton seventh. Yeah, we'll go with that. Newcastle 8th, Brighton 9th, Villa 10th, Fulham 11th, West Ham 12th, Palace 13th, Bournemouth 14th, Forest 15th, Sunderland 16th, Leeds 17th, Wolves in the relegation zone, Brentford in the relegation zone, and Burnley in the relegation zone. The only thing I might do here is swap Wolves and Leeds. I think Wolves survive just about. And that is going to be my Premier League predictions for this Premier League season. Well, if you want to subscribe, if you're a Manchester United fans, I'm doing like daily Manchester United news on here and on TikTok in short form content. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see more of these Premier League videos, well, I do a lot of FM rebuilds and they'll all be linked to the channel up there. Thank you so much for watching and I'll speak to you guys next time.